Good morning. It's been a couple of weeks since I posted my initial YouTube video on my thoughts surrounding what I felt was kind of the most important rocks to fill in the jar before anything got too complicated, and what I find most people kind of lack in terms of what they invest the energy into. So, just backtracking a bit, I wanted to start the series based on all the mistakes I've made over the years, So I've obviously had a fair bit of time in the game now and tried and tested a lot of different things and invested way too much energy in some areas than others over the years, and got sucked into, certain dogmas and beliefs and camps, if you like. Would that be low carb or, low volume training or excessive cardio or what have you, training twice a day, whatever the belief was at the time was the go-to. And I'm very guilty of being someone that when I was in that camp would judge others as to why they weren't doing what I was doing, yet they were getting results. I never really thought about it big picture until I, obviously got older and realized more so the importance of individualization and how cookie cutter programs do not work, and how people always ask me what I believe in, or what I think of this diet or that diet or this training system and whatnot, and this book. And I'm like, listen, that concept's obviously worked, and that's why somebody's turned it into a product so that they can sell it, right? So they can make money. But it's just taking a step back, it's all individual, right? And the purpose of me making this YouTube series is just to give back and provide some information on the most important areas to focus on before you get too sucked into, anything fancy, or even anything more than you really require in terms of, again, where you put your energy, right? So overdoing anything is not going to help anyone. It's providing what the body needs. Okay, so in most cases, I'll meet someone, they'll come to me, and they'll want a diet, for example, right? And as I said in the last, 4 areas, I feel people lacked prioritizing, hydration, optimal output, optimal amount of food. Most people undereat for fat loss, or they'll come to me having not eaten much at all for a long time, and they'll have little binge episodes or have dinners, what have you, and then think going back to low calories is going to get them lean. And it's just like constant cycle of shunting your metabolism down long term, and creating all sorts of deficiencies and hormonal imbalances. So the key, what I want to talk about today is foundation, okay? The absolute key is your health, okay? It's all about longevity. It's all about optimizing your body's systems, all right? So think of it like a car. If the car's not functioning or operating well, just in its basic state, it's low on water or fuel, or the brakes aren't working, the gearbox is low on oil, you're not going to go want to race it. Okay, it's just fucking stupid. So a lot of people don't understand or don't think of it in those terms. I guess I do, like my background's engineering, so my brain's very much wired logically. And I want to really get the message across to people that you need to focus on your foundation, your health first. So as I stated, water. You have to have an optimal amount of water for several reasons, right? And in conjunction with that, what I want to discuss more importantly today was digestion. So that there's a huge crossover, I should say, with obviously nutrition and digestion and what have you. So if you're going to be eating foods that your body doesn't digest well, it's going to obviously impact your, your goals physically and mentally. So selecting foods that you digest well will lower any form of gastric distress, and usually that means good food, right? So whole foods, lean sources of protein, good quality carbohydrates, good quality fat sources, and vegetables. Definitely lots of vegetables. In conjunction with those vegetables, you want, and a reason why a lot of people emphasize having a lot of veggies is for the fiber intake. Now, fiber is something I've found to be a bit of a secret weapon for digestion and detoxification and optimizing blood sugar management. And why you want that is because the higher your blood sugar, the more chance are you're going to store anything that's floating in the bloodstream, and impact your ability to burn body fat if your blood sugar values are too high. So, I hear people talk about diets all the time and whatnot, but nobody talks about, few people talk about optimizing fiber and in conjunction your ability to go poo. So I meet people that don't poo regularly, like daily or more than just once daily, and that's a problem. if you're not detoxifying and the process is not efficient, as in you're ingesting nutrients and then getting rid of the waste products, something's wrong. Okay, so you need to focus on that as a huge priority. And as I said, there's a huge crossover here. So once you address your nutrition and eat an optimal amount of food, so if you undereat, obviously slowing metabolism down, you're not going to go to the toilet as much. You want to eat enough nutrients to fuel metabolism, right? And as I think I stated in my first video, anywhere from 4 to 5 small feedings a day will be sufficient for most to get the optimal amount of food in. I don't know anyone that could eat enough food in 3 meals a day. Hence why 3 main meals and 1 to 2 snacks is required for most. And I know people have busy lifestyles, but to get the optimal amount of food in, you need to eat more frequently for a couple of reasons. Like, the smaller your feedings are, the more chance you're going to assimilate and digest your meal versus having an extra large feeding at one time, right? Not to mention the impact on your blood sugar. So the lower you can keep your blood sugar, the more efficient you're going to be able to process food and digest that food and assimilate, which means absorb the nutrients in that food and that meal. So that's why we like multiple feedings. But back to the fiber intake. Having veggies at every meal will be ideal. So as a female, just to give you some ballpark numbers, I would do at least 300 to 400 grams a day worth of a variety of vegetables, different colors, green, reds, purple, white, like mushroom, and for male, anywhere from 500 to 700 grams a day. And on top of that, most people will need an additional, say, 20 grams of supplemental fiber from experience to ensure they go into the toilet sufficiently, detoxifying, and allowing the body's process to be efficient. So I hope this tip helped. It's pretty basic, and a lot of the information we'll be providing is going to sound basic, but 8 out of 10 people aren't doing this stuff. They're following they're going to F45 or BFT, or they're going to the gym, smashing it 6 days a week. And I can tell you now, they have bloating issues, they have, mood issues, hormonal issues, because of imbalances. And I'll talk about more specifics moving forward, but foundation is always where it starts, to get everything in check and get everything balanced. And that's what you need to focus on to start with.